Well, when it comes to what we're told about oil, there's rhetoric and then there's reality. Our daily lives are dripping in oil. It's in virtually everything we use and fuels everything we do. But is it a dangerous addiction? To be sure, dependence on foreign oil is something to worry about. Yet increasingly, thanks to new technology, our country is becoming less and less dependent on imports from unfriendly countries. For nearly 10 years, journalist turned media analyst Mark Mathis has studied our use of oil, and what he found shocked him so thoroughly that he made a movie.
I've been a user for most of my life.
America is addicted to oil.
Like all junkies, I've paid a heavy price for my habit.
Is that right?
That is true.
Yeah.
People have ridiculed me for years for challenging what we think we know about oil.
Well, you're giving your opinion, which is interesting.
I keep trying to debate the facts, but a lot of folks just don't want to hear it.
Let's go. I'm tired of talking to this guy.
That's because my drug of choice is not the one these people are talking about.
According to Mathis, we do have an oil problem in America, but it's not what you've been told. I was able to visit with the producer-director of the movie Spoiled outside its theatrical debut in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, Mark, why did you decide to do this film?
You know, I was working first as a news reporter and then as a consultant, and as a consultant I was brought in to do some consulting with some folks in the energy sector. And anytime you're a consultant and you go and you learn about an industry, you have to study that industry. Well, I was blown away. And at that time, I was 40 years old. I had run a successful business. I'd been a news reporter for 10 years, and yet I did not have any knowledge of oil and the fundamental energy sources that run our lives. I became astonished at my own ignorance. And then, on top of that, I was blown away that I was so misinformed and that all of the people around me were misinformed. I became obsessed with the subject, and I've been obsessed for about 10 years.
Well, you're certainly not alone in being misinformed when it comes to the public. I have to ask you, though, in one of the lines of the film is you say that oil is actually good for our environment. Explain yourself.
Even people in the oil business are shocked when I say this. They say, Mark, you're drinking your own Kool-Aid here if you tell me that oil is the cleanest energy source ever found. And the fact is that without oil, what would your environment look like? If you don't have roads like in the developing world, then everything around you is dirty. When the wind blows, you're taking all of that dust into your lungs. This is one of the big problems in the developing world. If you don't have enough oil and energy, then you can't build the sewer systems that you need to properly treat the effluent before you put it back in the river. You start looking at your own personal environment. Everything that you use to keep your personal environment clean is oil-based. So if you separate out oil from your life and then you see how dirty your life becomes, then you start cluing into this idea that, yes, oil is extremely clean, the presence of oil, using it in your lives, and if you doubt that, go to any third world country like Haiti and see what your life would be like if you didn't have adequate amounts of oil.
Knowing that what you just said kind of flies in the face of conventional wisdom, what has been the reception to the film?
You know, it's been a little surprising. I mean, of course, in places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, it's very well received, and people come out of the theater saying, you know, thank goodness. We've been, for so long, we're tired of people just misrepresenting this commodity, this industry, what it does. We're so glad that somebody just told us the truth, warts and all. It's not some kind of a love song for the industry. Spoiled just tells what it is straight up. So that's been very encouraging and somewhat expected. The unexpected thing is that we have people from the left side of the political spectrum who watch this film, people who are very concerned about the environment, and when they're done watching the film, they come away from it and they say, you know what, this guy makes a lot of really good points, and we actually like the film. They'll get heartburn over a couple of issues that we discuss in the film, but on balance, even people on the left side of the political spectrum respect the film and think it's important and recommend it to other people to see.
So let me ask you, do you see a difference in the value of imported foreign oil to that of domestically produce natural gas, which we have a lot of in this country?
Sure. Well, I would say that oil itself, whether it's imported or domestic, is more valuable than natural gas because it's so much more versatile, it does so much more for us. That said, I would place a much greater emphasis in this country on moving toward natural gas-powered transportation. We need more we need to take the load off of oil when it comes to how we move people and products. Oil pulls 98% of the load. If we could get natural gas to take over some of that load, especially domestically produced natural gas, that could be transformative to world energy markets. Be one of the most positive things to happen for years. And I got to tell you, watching the politicians, I'm astonished that more politicians aren't jumping onto this bandwagon. This is the biggest energy no-brainer to come around in a very long time. Let's supplement oil with natural gas-powered transportation.
Yeah, so actually using natural gas for our transportation and then using the oil for higher value things like you talk about.
Sure. I mean, I believe we're coming at a time where we're going to need the oil for transportation as well, of course. And we're going to need to supplement it because we're coming into a time in which it is going to be very difficult for the world to produce enough oil to meet demand because of the big factors in play. The developing world, roughly 5 billion people now industrializing very fast. Oil consumption in nations that have used very little oil is ramping up significantly. And even with all of the good things that have happened in the United States over the last few years, when it comes to producing additional oil in the United States, that's not going to be enough to meet world demand.
And for those that haven't seen the film, you're not arguing that we shouldn't conserve this resource. It's just that we really need to value it and be good stewards of it.
Look, I think we need to use all of our resources wisely, no matter what they are, but especially oil, which is the most valuable resource we have. We need to value this resource. We need to use it wisely. We need to be more efficient with it. And you know, and the fact of the matter is, we as a culture have become much more efficient in how we use oil, more efficient than almost any other nation. So we're doing a good job. We can do a better job. And as this resource becomes more expensive, and as other products that are made from this resource become more expensive, we're going to be forced to use it more efficiently, and we'll adapt.
Well, certainly an interesting piece of work and one I think our country would be better if they got to see.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, to learn more about the film, just head to our website at okhorizon.com, where we have a link to the movie Spoiled.